Hey guys, Dan's Reviews here, back for my monthly review for this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. This one's going to be for the Walking Dead issue 182, which is called The Commonwealth Grows. So, this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series actually was really good. I like this issue. This issue was fresh. It got a lot of new storylines, a lot of new things kind of coming together here for this Commonwealth storyline. You guys know I'm not a big fan of the Commonwealth storyline, but I did like this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. I did think this month's issue definitely does. You need to give credit where it's due. This month's issue was really good. So, you guys know I'm not liking the Commonwealth storyline as much as, maybe the Saviors or the Whisperers or anything like that, but I am enjoying the Commonwealth stuff nevertheless. So, really, really cool stuff there. So, let's talk about this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. So, I'm going to say that this was a very good issue. This is a very good issue. I wouldn't say a great issue, but I'd say a very good issue. Now, for this one, I'm going to have to say my favorite part in this issue is going to have to go to the part where Rick sees Carl again and they kind of talk at the table. I really like that part a lot. It was it was very simple. It was a very simple scene, but I liked it. It was really nice, and very nice to see that. So we start off. Okay, so spoiler warning. If you guys haven't read this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series, you're gonna have to go and read it before you watch this spoiler recap reviews. So I have not yet picked up my copy at the local comic book shop. I'm going to be doing that this weekend. Yeah, I read it online. So I read it twice. Went over it, and very happy after this month's issue. I'm not blown away or anything, but this is not that type of issue. This is a very awesome issue though. You do get a lot of stuff, and the one thing I will say for this issue is the pacing is way faster than I thought. I thought in this issue, my predictions kind of were like, Pamela will probably go to the sanctuary. We'll probably see her chill there the whole time, and we probably will see a little bit of progression. She'll probably spend time at the sanctuary, probably talk to, John and the others, and, that's probably what we'll see in the issue, But I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm very happy I was, because we actually got to see tons of communities in this month's issue. So, Pamela has seen almost everything at this point now. So they go to the sanctuary. You've got John and the others who are, planting and stuff, as you got Rick and the others who come and they show up to the sanctuary. And Rick said, this place used to look a lot worse, So he invites Pamela in. She kind of, makes herself at home type of thing. And, she's talking with some of the characters in the sanctuary. They Rick talks about Negan and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool stuff. And, so, I'm very interested in seeing, what happens with Pamela, because I'm thinking to myself, man, does she want to kind of join all these communities together, or does she really not care less or whatever? So, because her every response to almost every community is her saying, oh man, this place is terrible, so right before she walks in, so, you gotta think, maybe it's because she lives in the Commonwealth and the others live in little communities, Rick and the others, but, I would like to see Pamela and the others join up with Rick's group. I think that'd be really cool. However, I'm not exactly sure if that's gonna work, because it seems like there's some stuff going on here. Something's off between Pamela and Rick. It's something's going on. Something's about to go down, and I can't really wrap my head around what it is. But the way they play off each other, it's pretty interesting. So, anyway, so you got them. They're leaving the sanctuary. They're on their way to the kingdom. You got Dwight and Rick. Dwight is not a big fan of going to the sanctuary. Bad memories for him. And, I like it when Rick's like, it's nice that you have someone. And then it kind of, Dwight goes forward, and then you just see a panel of Rick, like, So, he's kind of, he's upset over what happened with Andrea, of course, recently, and, it's very sad for him and all that kind of stuff. So, him and Dwight kind of, they kind of forgive each other, that type of deal. You see a quick scene right there. They didn't drag it out too much, because there's obviously tons of stuff to cover in the issue, but really exciting stuff, and I really did like that a lot. So, that was that. So, you got the kingdom. So they arrive at the kingdom, and, it's like one panel, So you don't really see the kingdom very much in this issue. You just kind of see it, and then you don't, So, the kingdom was in the issue, though, and I am happy they at least showed a little bit of it, because they don't really concentrate on the kingdom after All Out War. And prepare for that, too, television series fans. we don't see the Kingdom very much in the Walking Dead comic book series after the All Out War storyline, which just happened in the television series version. So, you know, it's there. It's still a location. It's just we don't see it very much. So seeing that in this issue was a little surprising, I'll be honest. So that's very good, though. So anyway, moving on, we've got Mercer and Rick just having a quick conversation before they get to the hilltop. They get to the hilltop, and you know, Rick's just like, you know, prepare for a mess because it's not exactly all finished. And they get in there, and Rick's like, wow, this place is really coming together way more than Rick thought. And he's just like, wow, you know, this is nice type of thing. So Maggie's like, oh, I wanted you to see it when it was all done, that type of thing. And then, of course, Rick shows up with Pamela, and Maggie's like, who's this, you know? And, you know, she's just kind of like, oh, who's this, you know? Who's this person? So then, of course, you get Carl who comes out, and he's like, Dad, you know, and they kind of hug, and that was really great scene as well. Like I said, great scene right there. So they sit down at the table. You got a quick conversation between Rick and Carl, which this scene I really enjoyed a lot. I don't know, I just really enjoyed this a lot, but they're sitting at the table, and you know, you get Carl who's like, your cane. You don't have your cane with you, and Rick's just like, well, it seems like I don't need it anymore. So Rick's cane is no more, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, it seems like he can walk fine without it, and we've been noticing that in the last few issues as well. So that's really cool stuff. Yeah, I love seeing Rick finding Carl again at the hilltop. He knew where he was. It's not like he found him, but he, you know, seeing him at the hilltop again, really cool stuff. So yeah, the hilltop is coming together. It's really coming along, and it does look pretty good. So you got Maggie and the others having a conversation, and you know, Rick saying, "You're being rude, Maggie," and yeah, so they pretty much decide that Rick is going to go to the Commonwealth, and he's going to check it out for himself. Michonne is there, so he's going to go see Michonne. And, you know, you got kind of the end of the issue while they're driving. They're, you know, in this, you know, carriage type of thing. And he talks to Pamela while they're on their way there. And they kind of, the way they play off each other is pretty interesting. And, you know, they're kind of like, I hope this all works out. And, you know, I hope you join us and this and that, you know. So Rick and Pamela have an interesting, you know, they have an interesting, you know, kind of, it's an interesting, you know, relationship between them two. I don't think it's romantic. I don't think it's a romantic relationship. I don't see that, but just a relationship between the two leaders talking to each other. It's very, the way they play off each other, Rick and Pamela, is really interesting. So yeah, so we'll have to see in the next issue, because obviously we know that they're going to be going to the Commonwealth. We see the next one is called Anne Michonne Without Her Sword. So I don't know. You know, the Commonwealth seems to be on fire and all this chaos. So we didn't see Michonne in this issue. So something probably goes down at the Commonwealth is what I'm guessing. And maybe Rick and the others come in and save the day. I don't know. So we'll have to see in the next issue what that is and just what happens in the next issue. But this issue, to rate this issue out of 10, I'm going to give this one a 9.2. I really thought this issue was one of the best we've gotten in a while. You guys know I haven't been the biggest fan of the Commonwealth storyline. I've always kind of thought the Commonwealth was just an okay storyline to see. The Commonwealth is... It's different, though, and that is one thing I do want to say. The Commonwealth is different, and it's a different storyline, and I do like it for what it is. So, yeah, there is that. But, yeah. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching my monthly review for this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.